Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about transit Neptune conjunct one's natal Black Moon. Now, when we're talking about transits that involve Neptune, it can be about dissipation, dissolving, idealism, inspiration, deception, and duplicity. Now, when we're talking about the transit Neptune, I should say, can join one's natal Black Moon Lilith, or this can manifest in dissipation, dissolving, idealism, inspiration, deception, and duplicity, and it can be connected with the negative manifestation of the sign that your Black Moon Lilith is in. If it's because it can be about the dissolving and dissipation of it, so it can actually be an auspicious transit as far as that goes. It can be something. I mean, if you have it in Aries, it could be maybe the ending of or trying to at least dissolve not the very abrupt, maybe aggressive or acrimonious energy, combative energy that can be connected um, with the placement. It can be, and it would be a side that you don't really maybe want a lot of other people to see, but it can also be something too where Black Moon is connected with the dark side of the person. I mean, if it's in Leo, it can be about dissolving, maybe you're trying to dissipate, an overly overbearing, domineering, arrogant type of nature. It can also be at this time as well. I mean, looking at this transit, keep in mind that Black Moon Lilith is what can reflect that side that we want suppressed and we don't want unveiled to others, and it might be something too where you might have maybe some inspiration, maybe on trying to end that as far as that energy goes, maybe embrace that higher that part of the placement, which can be done if you're willing to eradicate the sign that Black Moon Lilith, whatever sign it's in, that negative expression of that sign. Now, it can also be a time to keep in mind Black Moon Lilith can be somebody that could be a formidable adversary, it could be a person, it could reflect that person that plays a prominent or provocative or integral role in that person's life scheme. If you have it in Leo, say, like I do, it can be a Leo Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or something that embodies Leo characteristics. It might be, considering it can be a powerful enemy, can reflect that it could be a time where you might be more inspired to deal with this person at this time more so than usual. It can be that this person too that may be a very um, powerful enemy or somebody that figures prominently in your life may be succumbing to some kind of alcohol or drugs at this time, or being more deceptive and duplicitous than usual. It might be that you don't see this person perhaps as clearly as you would like to. Neptune, of course, is very obscure, nebulous, and unclear energy, to say the absolute least. And it may also be a time where you might have more idealism and trying to fill that void in your life. The Black Moon Lilith can reflect that void in a person's life. And the thing about this too, I mean, if you have this, say, in Libra and in the seventh house as an example, it could be a relationship, it could be some kind of companionship, or having some kind of peace in your life. Taurus could be the same way. If it's in Taurus, it might be some kind of stability in your life, having peace or tranquility, or being able to have more perseverance or persistence. It could also be too, in some isolated cases, the Black Moon Lilith really negatively manifests. I mean, it can be expressed as death. The Black Moon Lilith is comparable to Pluto in its energy. Sometimes it can reflect a death that might be at sea. It may be related to alcohol, drugs, or some kind of inadvertent or accidental accidental chemical assimilation. It's not, may not necessarily be connected with you. Based on the house that it's in, it may be, you know, somebody connected with that house. If it's in the 4th house, it could be a prominent family member. It could be the less dominant parent, which is often the mother. Somebody simply close to home with you, as an example. In the 3rd house, it might be a sibling or a cousin or a neighbor, somebody that was prominent in your early education. Also, too, the Black Moon Lilith is connected with very erotic sexual drive and energy. So it can be a time where you might be more embroiled or involved in these fantasies, connected with this erotic drive more so than usual. If it's in, say, if you have this in Gemini, it could be for, you know, much younger people than yourself, or people that might actually be Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or ones that embody Gemini characteristics, people that are very cerebral and mercurial, that are talkative, that have very animated, spirited energy. Now, also, too, another way this could manifest and pan out, this could also be about confusion over how you're going to deal with a powerful enemy or adversary. Say if this is in Gemini in the 3rd house as an example. Well, it could be maybe a mischievous, which is Gemini, neighbor, which is the 3rd house, and you might be wondering, you know, what you're going to do, you know, to take care of the problem. And it could be somebody that's, you know, committing acts of malicious mischief toward your home, as an example, and you don't know, that might be undecided whether you're trying to handle this yourself or call law enforcement, as an example. Now, at the same time, as I was stating earlier, to reiterate what I was saying before, there could be a time to dissolve the qualities, the negative manifestation of the placement. Now, say if this is in Scorpio and 2nd house as an example, it could be matters of maybe compulsive or some kind of obsessive hoarding. I mean, Scorpio, of course, could be very obsessive and compulsive energy. And the 2nd house is possessions. And another thing, too, it could, let's say if it's in Aquarius, it could be using astrology for the wrong purposes, maybe causing dissension in the community and trying to dissolve that energy. It may be a time, too, where you might be more inspired to embrace the higher level of the position. Remember, Neptune is connected with inspiration, and you can actually attain the higher level of the position if you're willing to discard and move away from the negative energy associated with the placement. Now, say if this is in Leo in the 4th house as an example, it could be doing something with entertainment out of the home, or being very magnanimous and generous with the home and family members, people you're simply close to home, being more gregarious with those people, as opposed to doing things, you know, the negative manifestation of that placement that I described, Leo in the 4th house, can be about just trying to, you know, do whatever it takes to get attention in the home, loud, boisterous behavior. It could, or just being very domineering, maybe even expressing arrogance with people you're close to home with. Now, another thing, too, another way this could be expressed is that, sadly, the dark side of this placement in some cases may be unveiled, or your dark side, which is the Black Moon Lilith, may be unveiled. It could be due to betrayal, which is associated with Neptune. It could be something with filmography. It could be somebody, for example, doing a YouTube video about you. Some isolated cases that are talking about that side that you wanted suppressed or hidden and didn't want to come out. Say if this is in Capricorn, the 5th house as an example, it could be very, you know, cold, undemonstrative, tyrannical nature, which could be Capricorn in a very negative manifestation. It could be toward lovers and children, which is the 5th house. Now, in some isolated cases, keep in mind that Black Moon Lilith could be a void. I think it could be expressed in some cases, given that Neptune is connected with the toes and the feet. Could it be the removal of a toe or a foot, an amputation in some isolated cases. It can remember that, Neptune, it takes Neptune more than a lifetime to go to traverse all 12 zodiac signs. A lot of people won't even have this transit, so this could actually be very significant transit, and it could be too. I'd see Black Moon Lilith being as negative. I mean, it could be connected with trauma, I'd say, as well. So it could be some strong injury to a toe or a foot. Maybe there's some serious situation that's connected with accidental chemical assimilation. It could be some issue with drugs, alcohol in some cases. Um, it could be something where if you are somebody that is involved in recreational drug use and or alcohol, it's at a high level, say, it might be something that's unveiled at this time, or even if it's it could be a prison record that might come out that you didn't want unveiled. Say if it's in Taurus, it could be some kind of monetary crime, like something with embezzlement or extortion, as an example. So anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard say, stay well.